Devin Booker exits their Game 2 loss with a right hamstring injury. Booker didn't play in the fourth quarter with the Pelicans after scoring 31 points, all coming in the first half. He sustained the injury with 4:45 left in the third quarter, a period in which he went 0 for 1 from the field. Booker missed 7 games in December with a left hamstring strain. He also had a left hamstring injury last season and missed 4 games. Suns coach Monty Williams was asked about Booker going down.
All of these games are so important, but no matter how you slice it, it's 1-1. We can, I'll whine and feel bad about it tonight, but we're 1-1, and it's a long series. We get to go to their place and we'll do what we do. We've been really good on the road, historically good on the road. We've played without Chris and Book before. If we have to play without Book, next man up, and we've done that all year long.
Do the Suns need a healthy Devin Booker, Christopher, to beat the Pelicans?
I think they certainly need a healthy Booker not to be sweating against the Pelicans. One thing about the game last night you got to keep an eye on, they were losing when he got hurt, 77-74. So the idea that somehow this is the reason why the Pelicans won Game 2 it's not fair, because they did trail after he had 31 in that first half. And the other thing I would say about the Suns, 1 seeds who won 64 games, 8 games more than any other team in the NBA. And in the history of the NBA, if you've won that many than the rest of the league, you win a championship. You're not supposed to be 1-1 in an 8-1 series. Okay? When you're playing the 8th seed who won 36 games, who were 1-12 and 3-16, the fact that, no big deal with 1-1. No. It is a big deal, because the Suns now are going to be in a war with this team. This team's got a little moxie. This team beat the Clippers on Friday night when they were dead, down by 13 in the fourth quarter, and they came back after they blew a huge lead. Tremendous job in that scenario. They had a bad game 1. They came back last night. They were down at the half, and they won the game going away. And Ingram, I don't care what anybody says, that guy, he is – now, listen, he hasn't done anything yet either, so let's not go crazy. Let's not say what I just said regarding Tatum and Butler. Ingram's a tremendous player, and he is capable of making this a very long, difficult series for Phoenix. And I'll tell you right now, Stevie's wrong. If Phoenix doesn't have Booker, they're not getting to Golden State. They're going to be picked off by somebody, because they're not that good without him. They don't have a lot of offense. Hall's up and down. Bridges is not a great offensive player. The center's getting outplayed by Varshalunas. He's getting outplayed by the Pelican center. Crowder can't shoot. If they don't have Booker, they're going to have a lot of trouble the rest of this series. Now, I think he'll probably play. And, New Orleans doesn't have a lot of experience. And, like Minnesota last night, they got a little too happy with their first win. They didn't show up for Game 2. I don't completely trust the Pelicans. But the idea now that the Suns are going to just roll off, no big deal, we'll win without Booker. They're not supposed to be 1-1, okay? When you're an 1 seed with 64 wins, this should be quick. And now they put themselves in a war. That's a bad sign for Phoenix down the road. That's what I'd say about that.
I could belabor your ridiculous take that you just gave.
What's ridiculous?
By pointing out the multitude of times an 8th seed has won a game in a series and stuff like that. I remember when Michael Jordan and the Bulls lost to B.J. Armstrong and the Charlotte Hornets. Yes, I remember a lot of things that's happened in the. I remember when Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers lost by 40 to the Boston Celtics in an NBA Finals game and came back and won the daggone series. So I love how you try to act like, just one game. I mean, it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this way. I love how you try to do that.
Well, the Lakers,
I said,
the Lakers are the 8th seed. The Lakers are the 8th seed against Boston in '85 Game 1.
Hold on. Don't interrupt me, because I'm getting to somewhere. Doggy, one of the mistakes, one of the worst things that happens with you is that, I listen to you. You see, I'm listening. I'm scouring through Mad Dog Radio sometimes. I'm watching. I'm listening. And when I hear your bizarre takes, I remember the other day, I just couldn't believe that what I was hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Dog Russo hosts a radio show. He has his own channel. It's a sports radio show. And you know what he spent damn near a half hour on? Ben Franklin.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Ben Franklin. Talking about that's
a great documentary.
And electricity. That's what he was talking about. This is Mad Dog Russo. He's out there. He's just out there, okay? And you're out there now. Because let me tell you something. The Phoenix Suns, led by the best point guard, the best pure point guard in basketball right now, who's approaching 37 years of age, is Chris Paul. That's the leader. Last time I checked, Mikal Bridges is a top 2 candidate. He was my vote for Defensive Player of the Year, even though I'm happy for Marcus Smart. DeAndre Ayton is no scrub. You know, Cameron Johnson and those boys can play. And I'm telling you something right now. I'm not concerned. I respect the Pelicans. I respect the young talent that they have. If Zion Williamson was there, I'd feel a little differently. But without Zion Williamson, I don't expect the Phoenix Suns, with game preparation available to them now that they know Booker's going to be out, to lose this game or this series. I don't expect it at all. I expect the Phoenix Suns to finish the deal in the first round. I expect the Phoenix Suns, with or without Devin Booker, to beat Utah or Dallas. Ain't going to be Golden State. I'm not picking them to beat Golden State with Devin Booker, okay? So I damn sure ain't going to do it without him. That's where I'm at with it, and I don't see why on earth you would think that the Pelicans, of all people, would take out the Phoenix Suns. You're showing no respect whatsoever, at all,
Right.
period,
To who?
to the Phoenix Suns.
Well, hold on now. If they don't have Booker, Ingram, and McCollum are better than anybody that Phoenix has offensively. McCollum is a very good player. He is a dynamic offensive player. Paul's up and down with his shooting. 5 for 16 last night. Last year a game against Milwaukee was awful. I mean, and we all make Chris Paul. You know, he's not a transcendent figure because he does State Farm commercials. He's not a this is not Ray Bork with the Boston Bruins who went to Colorado and won a Stanley Cup. The whole world loved it. This is not Oscar Robertson going to Milwaukee so he can win a
love Bob
championship.
Cousy, didn't you?
He is not beloved.
You love Bob Cousy, didn't you? Did you talk about Bob Cousy? Did you rave about Bob Cousy? You know what Isaiah Thomas says? You talk about pure point guard, quintessential floor generals. Tell me somebody in the game of basketball better than Chris Paul right now. Tell me one person. What?
Can I think about it?
You think about it. You think about it. Really?
Think about it.
You, the historian that you are. What you need time to think for. I thought you knew this stuff.
And
Give
by
me
the way,
one point guard. Better, one quintessential pure floor
what do I count?
general.
Is Curry a point
Extension
guard?
of the court.
Is Curry a point
better
guard?
than Chris Paul.
Is Curry a point guard?
Who?
Is Curry a point guard?
Yes and no. He's a point
How about
guard, but
Trae
he's a
Young?
shooter.
Is Trae Young a point guard? Yes or no?
They're scorers.
Oh, is he a point guard?
They played a point guard because they're small, but they got the ball to score.
Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight now. Booker doesn't play. No, hold on now.
We're going history now.
Enough.
We're going history now. You're not getting
Enough.
away with this, doggy, because you know exactly. You're trying to be slick.
Enough.
You know exactly what I'm asking you. I said
Enough.
pure point guard, a floor general, run the show. Is there a point guard in basketball
right.
better than Chris Paul?
All right, so
What?
if that's the case, they will win this series without Booker. That's your point?
Yes.
How many games?
6.
I'll tell you something right now, okay? You have overrated Phoenix. We sat here 2 weeks ago. You tell me how great Phoenix is. You know, Phoenix lost a home game. They're a 1 seed that lost a home game, all right?
Oh.
There's only 3. They lost a home game, and this is not the Lakers Celtics in '85 with Bird. I mean, come on, that's the difference. Don't compare it to an NBA final. They should not. They had a lead. They were trailing last night when Booker got hurt. That is not as good a team as you guys make it out. There's another guy. You guys make these teams and these players out to be Hall of Famers before they do anything. Phoenix blew a 2-0 lead last year. They lost 4 straight games to Milwaukee. They didn't play very well last night. They should have really played a Game 7 against the Clippers last year. And now you got Chris Paul, 37 years of age,
You're being slick.
in the history of the NBA.
You're being slick. You're being slick. You're being slick because you're going back to your original point about how Phoenix could lose this series. And I sat up there and said to the historian, the guy that brings up George Miking and Bob Pettit and Oscar Robertson and say Elgin Bayless, I asked a historian that's got his own damn channel, that's got his minions scattered all over the country. I said to you, I asked you a question. Is there a better pure point guard in basketball today? And you brought up the Suns. You were evasive on purpose. You're trying to be slick. You're not getting away with it. And you're not going to escape because I'm going to call into your show and bring up the same subject again because you're trying to avoid it because you didn't have an answer. You didn't have an answer.
I'm a big Paul fan, but let's take it easy. They lost last night. Paul did nothing. He's out.
One game.
And they got Ingram and McCollum on the other side. And this New Orleans team's got a lot of juice right now. They got a lot of buzz. That team feels good about themselves. That Clipper win was a tremendous win. Last night was a great win. Going
They
home.
feel good
That's
about
a dangerous team. That's a dangerous team.
They feel good about themselves. Hey, Molly, I didn't know. My bad, Molly. Doggy's got me there. They feel good about themselves. I gotta give it to them. They feel good. They feel good about themselves. So that's why they gonna win. I mean, really? I mean, come